Everybody, what's up? It's Donnie Crashbones. Welcome to season 2 of Unknown for the Most Likely. Today we have our special guest, Bradley Cook. He's been known to be in such projects as Ixias, also a bunch of amazing projects over the years. Bloated Subhumans. He also is a guitar tech and also builds guitars. He's definitely a variety of good, loud sound for all y'all metalheads and noise heads out there. So without further ado, let's get to this. Um, but before we do get to the rest of this interview, we're going to kind of get talking about the update about the interview with To Live a Lie Records. That will be happening as soon as I know a good schedule. There's always been like very iffy schedules last year, but season 2, yeah, let's get this going. Let's get this going. Okay. All right. Just waiting. Boop, ba, da, ba, da, boop, 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 boop. Okay, we should come up here soon. See if this works. Technical difficulties. We're always having technical difficulties when there's always different time zones. Oh, there we go. There we go. There we go. This works better. All right, there we go. Excellent.
There we go.
How's it going today?
Good, man. How you doing?
Oh man, been up and down, but it's been pretty good otherwise. You've been doing this. So yeah, this is your band's page
Yeah.
technically. Um, so when did you guys first like start? Like you have had like many projects over the years and stuff.
hmm
This has been like your main focus for a bit and stuff like that. When did it start?
Either 2018 or 2019. Yeah. We were
Yeah.
we were a two-piece at the time. I worked with a guy that we worked at a backline company, and we would both have a lot of free time in the winter because there's not a lot of shows, so we would just play in the back and eventually just kind of put something together.
Yeah.
hmm
With a plethora of like the sounds of like you guys you've went through like such as grindcore power violence and stuff like that, going into harsh noise and sludge, like with bloated subhumans.
hmm
Tell me about that, how that came about, and what is your what do you love the ugly sounds in music?
That came about because Joey, who it's primarily definitely their band. They hit me up asking me to fill in on drums for the thing when Brain Bombs came to play
Yeah.
in New York. They didn't have I guess a solid enough drummer. I did that, and then they asked if I just wanted to join full time, and I said yeah because I haven't drummed in a while, and I like what they're doing. It's unique. But I guess to answer your other question, I heard heavy music at a very young age, like um, I was listening to Sabbath by third grade, and then by like sixth
Hmm.
grade, I was already listening to like grindcore, just because I kept digging. I lived in a very, very small town. There was like nothing to do, so
Yeah, yeah, it happens with like living in Saskatchewan. Like we don't really have like a lot of like music in here and stuff like that. We still
mm,
try to have like a lot of a scene, like a punk scene, trying to grow and stuff. And yeah, yeah, and you're a guitar tech and everything. So you sell guitars also?
yeah. I mean, I kind of just do. I got into doing guitar work from both getting out of backline because of COVID. I just had to refocus something to make money. But I
Hmm.
also was just always into like collecting crap since I was a kid. Like I because I have ADHD, I jump from one thing to another. But
Yeah.
I kind of landed on this because it benefits me both in a from a work standpoint if I want to record something or learn how to make money, but also I enjoy uh, having something for a little while and getting rid of it. I don't really need to own something for an extended period of time most of the time. Um,
Yeah.
and then I also that's how I hone my skills, like just working on these guitars that needed help, and I do a little work and then move them along, and I gain skills, but also make a little money doing it. So
That's fucking dope. That's really dope. Well, like you've been like playing like a while with this band, and like, what are your favorite like highlights so far?
in Ixias, you mean?
Yeah,
Um, I enjoy the dynamic right now where it's not exactly always the same lineup or even always the same idea going forward. Like we don't seem to stick to one thing. Like we right now we've Steph, who was playing second guitar, has moved to bass out of necessity because when we went to Europe, our bass player Simeon had a passport issue. So like the day before we left, they're just like, okay, I'll learn everything on bass and figure it out. But the crazy thing about that is Simeon plays a six-string bass very clean,
mm-hmm.
and we had to figure it out on a four-string bass, kind of dirty. You know what I mean? Like completely different thing. But it wasn't like there was no stress about it. It was just like, okay, we'll just make it sound a little different, and it's fine. So I like the organic movement because that's kind of what I wanted to do when I started doing the weirder ambient stuff. I wanted to sort of let it be more experimental and kind of like free, not like I don't want a band to feel like a job ever. So when
Yeah,
it can kind of just exist in whatever state it needs to exist in a period of time. It's more enjoyable, and I think it's more interesting for developing new ideas.
yeah, yeah, exactly, exactly. You've been playing with like a lot of like an awesome like little like what very known band lately and stuff and it's pretty surprising. Uh, um, how has tour been so far though?
Hmm?
How has tour been so far?
Tour?
Yeah,
Like touring in general or
yeah, touring in general.
um just fine. I mean, I still do pretty much everything DIY the way I've always done it. I I hit people up and I contact people that I enjoy being around, or if it's somewhere I've never been, I take people's advice that have been there. But touring has been great. The last couple of tours went very well, both from a um, I think response from the crowd, and also we were doing okay financially, especially doing everything DIY. But
Yeah.
obviously, we're gonna become a tour only band as I'm moving to Europe at the end of the year.
Oh, oh, that must be fun. Like Europe probably is actually um a good expansion of like what's out there for extreme
Hmm.
sound. Um, do you have any bands to desire to tour with or to play with or you have played with?
Most of the bands I wish to tour with are usually like people around my area. I think that a lot of the bands on the East Coast are my favorite bands right now. There's lots of stuff on the West Coast that's always been awesome, but I'm talking like newer bands. like anything Aiden's playing in, like the Deliriant Nerve stuff, the stuff that Steph's playing in now, Entrails Asphyxiation, all that stuff's really cool. What else? I want to hit the road with Backslider at some point. I want to talk to them about that because I feel like we have a similar trajectory. And then additionally, we want to do something again with Test. We're talking about next year doing a Brazilian tour with them, and also Baby Chico is putting out our split together on a picture disc lathe that we'll have in time for that. So yeah, a lot still to do, and
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of bands I'd like to tour. I mean, I'd love to do something with Gasp. They're like one of my favorite bands that are still active, but we shoot back and forth. I know Mike, a little bit, and we shoot back and forth every once in a while. We haven't our schedules haven't lined up, and we haven't been able to figure something out yet.
Yeah. I just heard about they're just bringing back with new music. I
Mm-hmm.
remember when I heard they were making new music, and it was just kind of like, because I grew up listening to a lot of like Youth Rush and all that type of stuff, and I heard Gas.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and it's cool. Full of Hal did something with them.
Yeah, that release is very good. I still have to get a copy of it. It's sold out in like fucking an hour or something crazy like
Oh
that.
my God, that's insane. It's like how time goes by with a limited release like that. It's kind of crazy that physicals are just going to be gone soon, or they might do it like one more reissue and then done. I don't know.
As much as I love physical media, I'm actually not opposed to things going primarily digital. I
Yeah.
think that it's going to soon become unaffordable if it continues on the trajectory that it's going.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah. That is a big problem right now. I feel like, there's not enough physicals. There's a lot of just digital listening and
oh
stuff
yeah,
now. Yeah. Um, there was probably times where going to a show back then where probably the first time going to a show would be like nervous going to a show or something, and you're just like you don't know if you fit in and stuff. I felt like that in the beginning and stuff. Um, how was what was the days like when you started going to shows growing up? And
I
how did you feel?
I don't know if I was nervous as much as like maybe anxious is probably the better word. But my parents didn't want anything to do with this shit, and I was sneaking out probably around 14 or 15 going to shows. Um, yeah.
Yeah. Do you remember what bands you were seeing back then?
Yeah, I saw one of the first couple of shows I saw. So I think I went and saw fuck. It was a weird lineup. It was like Harvey Milk, The Red Chord, Gaza, and Trap Them, I think, was like one I saw early on. But I think a little bit before that, I did go to Death Fest. Like I dragged some friends to go with me in like 2008. I was very young. Um, and I saw that Despise You, I think this is the right year, whatever year Despise You played, they
Hmm.
were, somebody told me at the show, like, hey, they're going to play in somebody's basement later on, it's a secret, but whatever. And I'm like, whoa, how do I go to that? And then that's when I started going to like punk gigs, like pretty immediately after that.
Your guys' gigs in America are so much different than ours in Canada.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we don't have just message a punk or, all that type of kind of communication or the secret location. We don't even have that kind of freedom. Um, Technically, because just like how, I don't know, just fucking everything about our government is pretty much just like stopping everything about it. stuff.
Yeah, and I remember I toured Canada a couple of times. I think you're right. The only time I ever played that kind of a show was in Drummondville. I I don't necessarily remember the place, but considering what you just said, I probably shouldn't say it anyway. But I played a place there like that. Um, that was pretty cool.
Yeah. Um, I think I remember like how we met like long ago. I was like think I was just like listening to I forgot the band, but I know it's on A389 at Records for sure. And you were talking about you were saying it was your brother's band or your friend's band.
It was probably a friend. Yeah, my brother has only been in one band. And, uh, maybe it was Noisem.
Yeah, it was Noisem. Yeah, it was Noisem. Yeah, Noisem. Like I think only came here once and stuff like that. And yeah, I never like heard about them ever again and stuff like that. It was just like a one and done kind of thing. That's all I heard. But yeah, that's how I kind of like I met you. I heard, and I was started more like exploring more on social media and seeing people out there, see if they're actually like more people want to connect,
Mm-hmm.
kind of stuff. So for everything else on the side, we'd have talked about wrestling on the show a lot and stuff. And I've seen like you're a wrestling fan here and there.
Mm-hmm. Oh no, I'm definitely a wrestling fan. Yeah, I mean, I haven't been actively watching in the last 2 years just because I thought the product of both of the major companies has gone down dramatically.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. It's been just acting gigs for it's like AEW and WWE and just are just like acting gigs and GCW is its own like ECW's thing and
Mm-hmm.
I think GCW is better than like most of this stuff because I did watch a little ECW after I found out it was a thing.
Mm-hmm.
So
It's funny you bring that stuff up. I worked during COVID. I worked for ICW for a little bit. I was doing I was running the PA and doing like the ring music and
yeah, sorry. And yeah, like ICW has been around for like a long time too, and it's definitely getting its upcoming. It's a lot of underground wrestling companies are like that are definitely just bingo hall type companies are getting like their upcomings finally. It's kind of crazy,
Mhm.
but also like these companies are also just trying to buy them out or something like that. I feel like that's like going to be a problem if like AEW keeps on trying to get more people from the indies and stuff like that, and then all of a sudden someone from the indies they do something wrong, like the Nick Cage fucking incident, like they did, and it was just I don't know. I'm just I think it's completely funny how they got offended by that pizza ad.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that was absolutely ridiculous. Um, but no, I mean, I love wrestling. I definitely haven't intently followed anything other than anytime there's like some kind of big thing that happens. Like obviously I hear just from having friends that like it, I see, whatever the fuck big things happening. Like obviously I know that WrestleMania is like right around, you know what I mean? Like,
Mhm.
etc. Um, but and the thing with Punk, of course.
Were you ever a fan? Did you have any favorites in wrestling or in current right now?
In the past, I was a big, I mean, who wasn't Jeff Hardy fan? Um, and if we're
Hmm.
talking like, the ECW stuff, I always loved Sabu. Um,
Always, always.
yeah,
I'm a Sandman guy
absolutely.
too. So
Yeah, exactly. And then more so, I guess, current wrestlers. Who was I watching a lot? Um, fuck. I've completely like I have a mental block right now. Man, I can't even think of anybody right now. Yeah, I got no idea.
It'll come to you
It'll come
eventually.
to me later. I'm gonna just shout it out in like an hour, for sure.
Everybody loves Cactus Jack.
Oh,
at this point. Like,
of course, I love Cactus Jack.
I think everything that he has done and Terry Funk has done for wrestling, and it's just
Terry Funk. Yeah, rest in peace.
Holy shit! It's been heavy since like I know Bray Wyatt died too, and it was just like those two wrestlers, they were amazing. And I just like I've watched like clips of stuff with Terry Funk in it and stuff, and it's just like man, that guy was literally he hearted wrestling fans, and it's just what I kind of imagine just like playing music in front of people, just like just having a connection with the crowd, and also like having fun at the same time and stuff. That's literally like that's why I've been wanting to do music, but with wrestling, it's just this wrestling compilation is just otherworldly. Which if you want to submit a track, you can. I'm just saying, but if you don't have to. It's okay.
You said it's for what?
It's so it's just a wrestling comp. So it's like any kind of like wrestler, like you can talk about. It's like so just like any like wrestling noise, like any kind of genre, you can play any topic of whoever.
You said like thematically. I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'll look into that. I'm sure I can figure something out.
We got till November. We had to push the day because we have more people coming and with like submissions and wanting to put a track onto the comp, and we're gonna get some tapes out there, but so do you ever plan on like touring coming back to Canada if there is ever a chance?
There is a significant chance it actually might happen summer of next year. I don't want to make any promises yet because it's just something that we without revealing what it is, we've got invited to play a pretty cool fest in Chicago, and I was thinking about going out for like a week or two and kind of looping around through like cut up through Detroit and come back down through the Niagara.
You played Jury Fest, correct?
No.
Oh no. Oh, okay. I thought like just being around Chicago, you'd be a part of that bill.
No, I haven't played that. No.
You were at Scene Extreme Fest?
Yeah, actually, I'm drinking out of a cup from.
Man, for how long that's been around, that festival's been around.
Yeah, they're up. They're up on 25 next year. Yeah.
How many shows have you been to? Have you been to any more of the festivals? Like you've been to all of them?
You mean Obscene Extreme?
Yeah.
No, that's the first time I ever went. And I must say, I think it's one of the best festivals, heavy music or otherwise, I've ever been to, and I highly recommend it. I don't like festivals. I will flat out say I don't like festivals, usually because they're disorganized or they're chaotic or whatever. Mm-hmm. This one felt organic without being chaotic, if that makes sense. Like it just felt like everybody was having a good time. Nobody was really being stopped for anything, unless somebody was in like direct danger of some bullshit, Mm-hmm. Like obviously their whole thing is like freak flag fly, so you're gonna have some nudity, you're gonna have some weird fucking kink shit going on, but at the same time, there's children there, and it's a bit of a weird dichotomy at first when you look at it, but then you're like, everybody here is consenting to this, so I guess it's okay. You know what I mean? Like, it's odd, but it never feels like there was an incident where there was a guy that was on stage naked, dong hanging, and immediately immediately when he got on stage, security grabbed him. It was one of the only times I saw somebody get grabbed off the stage, because they knew the moment he was to stage dive, it was going to be an unconsensual thing. You know what I mean? Like, there's like this weird, I don't know how to explain it. It just felt like everybody there was paying attention to let people enjoy themselves, but nothing got too skewed one way, I guess.
Jesus.
Yeah, very, very, very weird atmosphere. And also the absinthe lemonade really fucks you up.
Absinthe lemonade. Well, if anybody's going out there one of these times, just go try that absinthe lemonade.
It's like $2 and you get trashed in like 5 minutes.
Holy shit. Anybody who likes absinthe, it's $2.
Yeah, it was something like that. I mean, I can't remember, because I got 1 or 2 for free, and then I can't remember what the fuck after that, because I didn't really pay attention. But
is insane. Okay, that's pretty wild. But at least people consenting.
mm-hmm.
You say you play at the fest, but like, did you have any favorite bands or any moments? Like, did Spasm still play any sets?
No, I mean, my day was primarily, to be honest, there was very little gore or anything like that on the show. The day that we played, it was actually more like old school punk and then some straight up grindcore.
Yeah.
Like, we played with Raw Power. I'm a big Raw Power fan, so I was excited for that.
Oh yeah, that's awesome.
Hiatus played Legendary Belgian Crust. That was cool to see. I was mostly excited about the older bands, but then also like a lot of the bands that like we got to play other shows with that were really sick. Endless Price, or Exorbitant Prices Must Diminish, Endless Swarm, which Graham, like when he jumped off the stage, he fucked his foot. Like he basically like destroyed his foot. His entire leg was black, and he did the rest of his tour like with like a fucked up foot.
That's fucking rocking.
Yeah. He was proper mangled.
Yeah, that's pretty wild when that shit happens. Like, I don't know, no people are just like, flabbergasted, like always shocked or something like that, always thinking like, oh, come on, do this, do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, jumping off the stage is crazy. Don't do it at home.
That's the thing. Like, what's crazy is, so there was quote unquote stage diving, but like, for the most part there, it's like a very slow, like, I'm coming down, like, it's very relaxed. But then every once in a while you'll get somebody who just like goes really hard, and then the crowd, it just doesn't want to, they just get out of the way. You know what I mean? Like, they don't catch you. Oops.
Some people don't want to catch you. Yeah, that's true. Like,
yeah.
I don't. Yeah, it's always when someone tries to do a flip, they'll fucking land on their ground, hitting their back or something.
Oh, I mean, I was that asshole forever. I only just recently stopped because I used to be 120 pounds. Like, I wasn't very big, but once I cleared like 200, I was like, I'm really at risk of hurting somebody, so I don't want to.
So right now, you're currently on tour?
No.
Nope.
No, I had a one-off show last night that we played in Philly. We're not touring. I mean, there's stuff I want to do next year, but there's definitely no touring this year, and there's probably not anything until the summer of next year.
Okay. Because
I got to get settled in, and 2 members are teachers, so like touring anytime but the summertime is really not ideal. I mean, it's not the best situation.
Okay, that's understandable.
Yeah.
Well, honestly, has been really great talking to you, man. It's been a really big pleasure. Do you have any last words before we do end this episode today?
Nothing I can think of. I'm fucking tired. Thanks for letting me do this, though.
Yeah, no problem, man. Absolutely. Go check out Ixias Bandcamp. They also You can also hit up Brad's Instagram if you want to know his variety of projects and everything going on, and also, uh, yeah,
Oh,
check out some of the tours.
I do got something. Me moving out to Europe, I will probably be driving bands. So if anybody wants to tour Europe cheap, hit me up.
Yeah, definitely, absolutely hit this guy up. Anybody in Europe,
Or even if you're going to
or if
Europe,
you're going
you
to
know what I mean? Like,
Europe.
yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you, and I hope you have a good day.
Yeah, you too.
All right. Peace out.
Peace.